Is it because I've got a bunch of expectations with my partner that I never actually communicated with them, therefore they don't live up to them, and so I feel disrespected? That could be creation entirely of your own. So that shit needs looking at. Alright, so this is a pretty common one for guys. Yeah, in the context of relationships, but it's not always relationships, it's anything. But let me read it out. If I leave a relationship that isn't working, where I constantly feel disrespected. So we've got the setup already. The relationship's not working. He's constantly feeling disrespected. Does that make me a quitter? There's so much in that, right? I mean, he's searching for reassurance in that. He's searching for reassurance from me in that question. So it's loaded. What do I say? Yeah, you fucking quitter. Well, one, I really need to know the context of the relationship. The relationship isn't working. A lot could determine that. You could be a quitter, because it could be that it's not working because we have conflict every now and then, or we don't like the same things and want to watch different movies or do different things with our hobby time or something. Or it could be that it's really fucking not working. You guys are not a match. So that context is important. However, if you constantly feel disrespected, which is the next point, right? Constantly feel disrespected, that's pretty important to pay attention to. But also, I'm going to wade into this carefully. It doesn't necessarily mean that things aren't perfect, because they won't be perfect. That doesn't mean that things can't work, because feeling disrespected is very big, very common for men. Women will often feel hurt, men will feel disrespected. So that might be something for you to investigate as an individual. Why do I feel disrespected? Is it because I've got a bunch of expectations with my partner that I never actually communicated with them, therefore they don't live up to them, and so I feel disrespected? That could be creation entirely of your own. So that shit needs looking at. Or it could be, perhaps on the other end of the scale, that they are disrespecting you. They don't have respect for you, therefore they disrespect you. My assumption, my guess, is that it's probably somewhere in the middle. It's probably a combination of a relationship that's not working and not going well, not going anywhere, but also a lack of clarity around what you really need and want, how to communicate that, and also how to communicate when you do X, I feel disrespected. Not when you do that, you disrespect me. Because their intention might not be to disrespect, but if you just label them with that and just place that on them, then that's not necessarily fair. You're allowed to say, when you do X, I feel disrespected, so you can come together on it. But the next part of the main part of the thing is here, the question is, if I leave a relationship, does that make me a quitter? So you see how there's a bit in that, right? So let's ask a different question, because I know this is very common. If a relationship ends, does that make me a quitter or a failure? And the answer is no. Quite simply, again, it's nuanced, but let's be kind to yourselves here. Choosing something that is no longer serving you does not make you a quitter. Seeing something through just because you've committed to it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in integrity. Sometimes we have to learn when to let things go. If I said, you know what, I'm going to run a marathon every day for a month, and then I get to day one and I fucking hate running more than 10 kilometers, so I quit. But let's just say I do 3 of them and then my knees fucking break down on me. Am I a quitter if I say, I'm going to leave this challenge and no longer do it? Because doing it would break my body down. It would be no longer serving me, is the question that I need to ask. Is it? No. So does it make me a quitter? Of course not. It makes me smart in pulling out of something when I know it's no longer serving me, right? So that's where this comes in. So the thing for this dude to really look at is, what is he placing around the identity of being a failure or a quitter? clearly a lot. And what about it? Investigate that. So there's something more here. How will I know if I won't just give up on other things when they get hard? Good question. Guess what the answer is? Fucking experiment. But first of all, investigate what you're placing on being a quitter, and what you're placing, the meaning you're placing on you being a failure, how you're identifying with that, and therefore you're fearing that you will identify with it. I did it once, therefore I am. Remember, anything you put after the words I am, you have to become. So you've got to fucking watch that. Knowing when to push ahead and commit and do something versus when to stop and let it go takes practice. So fucking practice it. That's it.